Their record perhaps a little misleading at 3-10, but they've been playing a lot of guarantee games before they head into Southland Conference play.
Yeah, you definitely can't overlook any opponent because that's how you come here and get beat. Experienced that my senior year, we overlooked Texas Southern and Stephen F. Austin and took 2 bad losses in the same year.
Stephen F. Austin back then out of the Southland Conference, these days out of the WAC. Meanwhile, Northwestern State, they were here in 2013, and Jalen West, a young standout for them back then, sent this game to overtime. They do have 1 win against Baylor in their prior 9 meetings. Adam Flagler, the junior, out of Georgia. As Baylor able to strike first. Take a look at the starting 5 for Northwestern State. It includes Carvel Tset, whom they were without the opening semester, but he really changes the look offensively for this group. Put up 15 points against Texas A&M in College Station 7 days ago, the last time these Demons suited up. Meanwhile, long 2 off the baseline won't go down for Jalen King. And meanwhile for Baylor, Jeremy Sohan gets the start tonight after cutting the locks. No second chance points there for Baylor.
I see what you did there. That was super creative.
He got the haircut. He came straight over to King McClure almost to get a stamp of approval.
Look, I approve it. I didn't like all the floppiness, but I like what he's rocking now.
Akinjo loses his defender and able to knock down the stroke. It's a 5-0 start for Baylor. Of course, Baylor coming off wins over Alcorn State and at Oregon most recently. A tough schedule for the Bears, and yet somehow sit 11-0 among the 5 undefeated. Even if they had picked up a loss with their challenging schedule in non-conference play, they would have been okay with it. But it's going to be a gauntlet once they do enter Big 12 play this year.
And the Big 12 is going to be just as tough as it has ever been. Look at teams like Iowa State, teams you probably didn't think would ever be good again. And those guys are rocking at number 8 in the country, undefeated. Tough matchup this week. Otzelberger has done a great job of turning that program around. Undefeated,
number 8 in the country. They were picked dead last in the Big 12 entering the season. Meanwhile, Baylor, the defending national champs, were picked 3rd in the Big 12.
That's crazy.
Open look. And the shot just won't go down off the front iron from Cedric Garrett, the transfer out of Murray State. They're excited about what Garrett's going to give them when they get into conference play with some great size at 6'5". Meanwhile, it's a 7-0 start for Baylor.
I like that for Kendall Brown.
Is in the country, 23 years at the helm of Northwestern State.
Oh, wow.
Even led them to that 2006 victory over 3-seed Iowa in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Northwestern State is picked 3rd entering the Southland this year. It's a new look Southland after part of the conference split off to join the new look WAC. Oh, mid-range stroke, still looking for the opening points. Is that one off the mark from Brian White, a local product from Natchitoches, Louisiana, location of Northwestern State. Balanced scoring so far, and that's just not fair. Flagler lobs it up for the easy dime, and Kendall Brown does the rest, your preseason freshman of the year in the Big 12.
He's definitely played like the preseason freshman of the year. I don't know if any freshman in the 12 has played better than Kendall Brown.
Looking for that advantage, a little help, and ultimately Baylor able to crash the boards after the miss from Coleman.
That's tough.
On the opposite end, good from the baseline, as another one goes down for Akinjo. Of course, James Akinjo, one of your newcomers after Baylor lost all but one of its starters from its national championship last year. Akinjo comes over after being all Pac-12 at Arizona. One of 3 players on the Naismith Award watch list for Scott Drew's Bears. And Baylor off to an 11-0 start. A couple of those field goals from this man. Thamba, little 15-footer, good.
Low Thamba with the mid-range jumper showing his stroke from the midi.
And Northwestern State's had a full week off. That's time suited up before Christmas. Hope everybody tuning in, enjoying their holidays. And there's your first 2 points of the night for the Demons, courtesy of Jalen King, the sophomore.
Good cut right there. Pick up the ball. You must move without the basketball in order to get easy buckets.
King had a nice outing against A&M. Had not hit a three-pointer all season, but knocked down both of his efforts from beyond the arc over in College Station. Northwestern State was able to play the Aggies close. A battle for the offensive board goes the way of Baylor. Flagler, catch, release. The triple is good.
Won't miss 2 in a row. Adam Flagler, elite shooter. Has to see the second one go in.
Hitting better than 30% of his shots from beyond the arc this year. Well, Scott Drew's going to bring in a couple of fresh white uniforms. Northwestern State's going to double that effort with 4 men coming in off the bench in a moment. Mike McConaughey, when he's got the depth he wants, will go literal line changes, a wave of 5 men, 5 out. Doesn't quite have that depth this year. And again, Baylor, they're going to have size advantages on a lot of teams at the Power 5 level, let alone against their Southland foe, and they try to take advantage there with the alley-oop to Brown off the mark. And on the opposite end, transition 3 won't fall for T-Set. And Carvel T-Set celebrating his birthday in Waco tonight. I'm not saying it's the haircut. And meanwhile, able to keep his attention, Kendall Coleman, the Shreveport freshman. Been on about 15 to 20 pounds of muscle this year. And Scott Drew's men slow it down. It's an 11-0 start for Baylor tonight. Sohan. And Jeremy Sohan out of England. Went to school in Germany. Home. Want to wish a happy holidays back to Coach Simmons. His second stint as an assistant with Northwestern State. As Baylor started to slow down, they've hit just 1 of their last 7 shots. 0 for their last 5. No-look pass, still winds up with Sohan. 10 to shoot. And credit the Demons again, they subbed in 4 new bodies, creating a lot of traffic here. It's a long 2 for Akinjo. And the rebound winds up in the lap of Zarabi Genti from the Republic of Georgia.
Yeah, I don't like that shot right there by Akinjo, that long 2. Step back, get the 3, or scoot up a little bit closer right there. Long 2 with the foot on the line, not a great shot.
Northwestern State's seen an increase in international players on their roster. Have a couple of young men from Greece this year. Get a look there at Jonathan Chamwa-Chachua. Mention Carvel T-Set after the end of this past semester, able to step in with his teammates and knock down shots like that one. A 4-time state champion out of Baton Rouge in Louisiana. Knocked down 3 triples against the Aggies, knocks down his first tonight.
Picking up where he left off.
Sohan with a kick out to the corner. Chamwa-Chachua will keep it alive. Couple of bigs. And Jonathan gets the look, won't go down. The rebound by Larry Owens, preseason second-team all-conference in the Southland, comes off the bench this year for Northwestern State. One of just 2 returning starters for Mike McConaughey's men from a year ago. Northwestern State's going to kick off its January by playing conference opponents in a non-conference tournament over in Katy, Texas, at the same arena where they will play their conference tournament in March. It's called the Merrill Center Home. How much quicker, though, is his pregame prep now?
Doesn't have to get the curls popping before the game.
So 3-point play for Mr. Akinjo, who now comes off for Adam Flagler, one starter for the other. Baylor with a modest press to greet the Demons. Oh, nice feed. And ultimately, that one leads Genti right to the rim, the sophomore, with an easy 2.
That was a great pass right there from Reed. Great post speed. Good angle to set his man up for the easy layup.
LT Reed, LaTerrence Reed with the assist there. One of your 2 returning starters for Northwestern State this season. Team that made it to the second round of the Southland Conference Tournament last year in Katy, Texas, outside of Houston. Now Machachua can't get it to go. And it's another rebound for Larry Owens. He's set with the ball. Basically has the green light. Any shot he's comfortable with, and able to avoid the travel. And bailed out. Last touch by Baylor with 11 to shoot. So not only Baylor with the nation's longest win streak of 17, but no game has been closer than 8 points against the Bears. Certainly not the national championship last year.
Yeah.
And take a look at all of the streaks for Baylor. Last one against the AP top 10. Again, they go out, challenge as tough as anybody.
Ooh.
And a nice stroke from T-Set. Mentioned he knocked down 3 of those against the Aggies, has 2 here in the opening half.
T-Set's starting to get busy with a tough jumper right there over the longer defender.
T-Set is a second-year freshman.
That sounds so weird to say, a second-year freshman.
You're going to be hearing it for a few years. Tom Chachua with the pivot. The pride of Cameroon. Played for the NBA Global Academy in Australia. Started off at UNLV before making his way to Waco. Reed with the long outlet pass.
Tough shot right there.
He's not going to have a lot of guards as big as Mr. Brown guarding him once he gets into conference play.
Not at all.
Transition opportunity, T-Set. Everything but the bucket. Demons have numbers back defensively. Quick release from Turner is good. Jordan Turner with the sweet stroke.
I like seeing Jordan Turner out there. He provides another long, athletic body for Baylor. Gives them versatility, and that's what they need. He just needs to get his confidence going.
Baylor has doubled up Northwestern State here midway in the opening half. Flagler will tack on a pair. He's got 8 points already in this first half. Baylor, meanwhile, out-rebounding Northwestern State 19-6. No need for a rebound on that last shot. And we are about to see Mike McConaughey go with a fresh 5 off the bench. Chachua bumping Turner off the rebound.
Yeah, he wasn't sharing that board at all. He wanted that number.
Well, no look to Jonathan.
Oh.
Did he get a haircut?
Good pass.
Into Owens, good. The assist from T-Set.
T-Set can hoop. Don't get it twisted, people. But T-Set is good. This guy's an elite level guard, probably one of the better guards in the Southland.
And comes out of Baton Rouge. Mentioned finished every one of his 4 seasons in high school with a victory. Owens stayed glued to Flagler, but Flagler able to knock that one down.
I like the aggressiveness from Adam. I think he is so good on the offensive end, and we really haven't seen it. We saw a little glimpse at Oregon in the first half, but he's super talented on that end. Look up.
Baylor's made 4 of its last 5 shots. Make it 5 of its last. As Baylor now 45 straight weeks in the top 25, let alone top 10, and of course back at number 1 for a 3rd straight year. Sohan pushes it forward, and free throws coming up for Akinjo. Akinjo's been in this starting lineup for Scott Drew each and every night. Matthew Meyer missing his first start this evening. Mentioned Jeremy Sohan in his place. No, it's still football season. There's still that one football game on the schedule for Baylor over in Louisiana.
Big game, big game.
Kinjo. Look forward to listening to John Morris and the Baylor radio crew call that one from the Sugar Bowl against Lane Kiffin's Rebels of Ole Miss. The job Dave Aranda's done. I mean, Scott Drew with men's basketball. We've seen the expectations for every other program these days at Baylor. As Northwestern State taking it straight to the rim. During that last timeout, Mike McConaughey did reinsert all 5 starters. As the Demons back within 16. And a power dribble gets stripped away by Garrett. Garrett, the transfer from Murray State, goes to the rim. Bucket goes, and a free throw first of the night coming up for Northwestern State. Get another look at the determination from the Demon.
Good take right here. Tough drive, dropped his head. Good and one.
The Northwestern State team that was within 8 points the final 7 minutes against A&M. Mike McConaughey points out, only got to the line for 7 free throws. They only hit 3 of those 7 free throws. Could have helped themselves. A nice screen sets up the open look from the corner, and making good on it again, James Akinjo. 4th triple for Baylor as a team. First time Akinjo knocks one down. Northwestern State came into Waco, picked up a 65-60 victory in 1997. And Akinjo started to catch fire, back-to-back triples, as Baylor's made its last 4 shots on a 6-0 run.
That was impressive right there, coming off the down screen, able to get his feet set. Great shot from Akinjo.
I had some static. Did our producer call that shot before it happened, or were they just talking about the previous one?
At least it was previous.
Oh.
But you know what? Let's give it a credit.
I was going to let you
I
give
think she
Sarah
called
credit.
the game. Sarah, you got it. You called it. I'm giving you your credit.
He can read the body language. Now she says her name is Claire. Kick out to Flagler. Little strong. Akinjo trying to go 3 for his last 3. Yes, sir, the triple. $18 points for Akinjo here in the opening half. Almost half of Baylor's points against Northwestern State. Seven to shoot. And Northwestern State hasn't been able to hit that rim in recent memory. Some passes that have been off the mark, the shot a little short. Over 600 victories in his career. Mike McConaughey, all within the state of Louisiana. Former Louisiana Tech Bulldog. First year freshman. Not sure what that is in metric. In Sohan, a member of the Polish national team. As a result, plenty of competition has helped mature him against grown men. And end of the drought courtesy of T-Set, who knocks down another triple.
T-Set has been instant offense for Northwestern. They might as well keep my man in the game the whole time.
T-Set's 3 of 4 from beyond the arc. We'll see what else he can give them. As Baylor pulls some back.
Look, I'm running the play for T-Set. Come up, get the ball, shoot it. No matter where you are, shoot it.
T-Set averaging about 9 points. Mentioned put up 15 against Texas A&M. Has 9 tonight already in the opening half. Shot clock at 3. There was one fan trying to help out Northwestern State by counting down the shot clock, but I think they were in the wrong time zone.
You got to give that one up, Kendall. You had a 2-on-1 fast break. That's not time for a Euro. Give it up to your teammate. Get the assist. Keep it rolling.
And crossing over on the inbounds play, a turnover.
Yeah, you couldn't move because it was a dead ball. Wasn't off a basket. Had to be stationary. Good call by the ref.
Our officials are usually nice enough to tell them in advance whether they can.
My guy didn't listen right there.
Michael Greenstein on that baseline, working tonight's game with
Jerry
Pollard and Amy Bonner. Jerry Pollard with the foul call this time. Keep us on this end. We are told Homer Drew again recruited Mike McConaughey.
That surprises me. That shocks me. That was probably a long time ago.
I can confirm it was not recent. Again, Mike McConaughey, one of the 8 longest tenured coaches in D1, and we know he's going to move up at least one spot with Coach K, supposedly calling it a career after this year. And this is the 7th game for Northwestern State against teams that, wow. Carvel T-Set, have yourself a birthday. 4th three-pointer for T-Set.
Look, if I'm Northwestern, I'm giving the ball to T-Set and letting him just rock out.
T-Set leads the charge. Away from McKinjo.
Oh
yeah,
goodness.
Of course it went in.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
And it's just his 5th game back with his teammates, just his 3rd start. No sign of rust.
I told you, T-Set is a baller. This guy right here is feeling it.
Wagler trying to pull 3 back. He does. $13 points for Flagler.
No. Oh, that's how he's feeling. Steph Curry.
Yeah, they say some folks, when they get out of the team bus in the parking lot, they're within their range. T-Set was trying to test that out.
Oh, that man thinks he's Steph right now, huh? Pass.
Sohan. 5 points for Sohan in his first start to go with 6 rebounds.
Look, I'm honestly not even mad at that shot T-Set just hit. I mean, he just hit 2 in a row, hit 4. Honestly, if I was him, I would shoot it from the same range.
T-Set 5 of 7 from the 3-point line with his last miss. That one gets away. Kendall Brown keeps it in play. Chamba Chachua able to hang up there long enough as Akinjo finds him at the rim.
Good look. Not a great pass, but it got the job done. That's all that matters.
Approaching the final minute of the opening half. That lane cleared up briefly.
Oh.
The foul on Chamba Chachua is going to lead to free throws for Kendall Coleman. Coleman, another one of these second-year freshmen, and an everyday starter for Northwestern State, just about. Again, before Carvel, T-Set rudely interrupted me with one of his many 3-pointers. Northwestern State, they're 3-10, but this is their 7th game against what we would call in football a Power 5 or the American Athletic Conference level competition. And when you're a coach and you schedule this aggressively, you're just hoping your players are mature enough to go into conference play with a fresh slate.
Yeah, I mean, it honestly makes you better in a sense. I mean, yeah, you're taking losses, but you're playing against competition who's quote-unquote better than you. So because you're playing against high-level competition game in, game out, you've seen it, the competition is not going to be nearly as good in your conference. Therefore, you get to conference play, you're ready.
A lot of it is frankly just size. They are not going to see some teams as big as the ones they're seeing this first half of the season.
That's honestly the biggest difference is the size. I mean, you're right, from the three-man on to the center, those guys are like 6'7", 6'8", and above.
Dale Bonner in the ball game for Baylor. Zohan. He's got 7 points this half. T-Set is on the bench, will not be hitting a three-pointer on this possession. In his place, the team's basically number 3 point guard, Amarion McDonald. Out of Coshada, Louisiana. John Chachua testing his range. Shot clock is in effect one final time. But Flagler's going to milk it just about all the way down. And Baylor will not be able to stretch the lead to 30. As the Demons should be able to get the final look here. It's a half where Baylor gets 18 from Akinjo, along with 5 assists. Flagler with 13 and 7 dimes. 9 points for Brown. The next night and played the Cougars within 10 points. 3 games in 3 days last year. 2 of them against the #1 team in the nation were these Demons of Northwestern State. As Baylor trying to pick up where they left off in that first half. Adam Flagler, that's his 4th triple. Ian Akinjo with 7 successful strokes from beyond the arc. And King is still receiving baked goods at the scorers table from his adoring fans here in Waco.
Good block. Oh.
3-on-1. Use the rim to your advantage and you go to the free throw line. Jalen King, 12 of 17 this year from the charity stripe. Another look.
Good take right here. Able to use the rim as your friend. You said go to the free throw line, shot.
That first foul for Brown. King started his career at South Georgia State. We're seeing a lot of JUCO transfers that technically are just sophomores despite playing 2 years in JUCO. So you bring in a guy who's been seasoned, come into your lineup, but you take advantage of that free year of eligibility. See some of these JUCO guys get to be on campus for 3 years or more.
That just gives you an extra year of experience and honestly makes a lot of teams better because you know what they say, the older teams are the better teams.
Zohan again, first career start.
No foul?
Well, international flight goes crashing down, but I think they're going to meet them halfway and just say ball touched last by Northwestern State. You be the judge.
No foul right here? That is clearly a foul.
Off the screen, 3, no. And the rebound brought in by LT Reed. And Reed's a guy who's going to be undersized against these opponents in non-conference, but is probably going to see his numbers improve. The 6th-year senior once he hits conference play. T-Set. Yeah, had no business going inside the 3-point line.
Man, had no business passing right there, bruh.
Zohan.
Only thing should be on T-Set's mind is scoring.
He does have 2 assists in that first half, but those didn't make that highlight reel that our producer put together.
Who cares about passing when you can get buckets and shoot like Steph?
Kids, cover your ears.
Uh-oh.
Carvel, T-Set. Trying to ignite the bench right behind him. That one doesn't go down, but it'll stay here with Northwestern State.
The unfortunate thing for T-Set and Northwestern State is that you have a halftime, right? In T-Set, normally when guys get hot in the first half, they normally do not continue that same hot streak in the second half, and they cool down. Let's see if he's one of those guys.
That's when you tell coach, I'm going to just stay out here. Good feed inside, but a double team on Kendall Coleman, unable to flush it. Coleman's actually familiar with a couple of these Baylor players. We'll have more on that in a little bit. They try to feed Coleman and foul underneath on Thamba. Flo Thamba, the only returning starter from last year's national championship team. And that has made the job performance all the more impressive for that man. He would have had every excuse not to have his team sitting at #1 here in the final poll of 2021. Instead of plucking JUCO transfers, he plucks first team all Pac-12 players. And sprinkling in some young freshmen like Mr. Sohan. Akinjo one-on-one. Akinjo one-on-none.
That was too easy. You got to put your body in foul right there, do something, but you can't just get blown by on a one-on-one play.
A 7-2 start for Baylor here in the second half. Now I'll point out that's 2 more points than Stanford had for about the first half of the second half. A tie-up between Sohan and Garrett. Moment ago, the steal, the finish.
Just too easy. Below right by. Like he wasn't even there.
Seems rude. 20 points for Akinjo. T-Set. And again, looking to get teammates involved. No, sir! Rejected by Thamba. Brown the other way.
Oh.
And a scary fall for Kendall Brown. Free throws pending. Or again, your preseason freshman of the year in the Big 12 out of Minnesota.
Great block right here. Looked like he might have been a little late, but no, sir. Now they're Flo Thamba's house.
And Thamba with the fingertips swatting that one away. Oh, Kendall Brown, a freshman, already with a veteran collegiate body. Get stronger.
All right, Kendall Brown, I've been so impressed with his speed. I mean, everybody knew he could jump, but his speed, though, in transition on fast breaks, leading with the defense, getting steals, getting in the passing lane, and just sprinting to the rim. Been super impressed with that. I think it'll translate well on the next level.
5-star recruit. Baylor's expanded its lead by 6 here in the second half. Northwestern State looking for its first score in the past 2.5 minutes. Oh, found a lane, and Bonner with a little precision poke goes off the Demon on its way out of bounds. And Mike McConaughey will go back to his bench for some fresh legs. Only man who's going to stay out there is T-Set.
Are you surprised?
So T-Set, we know this, at least one day younger than his head coach. And this is your new point guard, Thamba, right?
Oh, no, Flo. That's not you. That's not your game.
T-Set with 4 fresh faces, including Brian White. Every other broadcast this year, I think, has mentioned it, so I feel like we have to. Brian White at 5'6" is the shortest Division I player this season. Doesn't seem that short. Here's White. Can't get it to go. The rebound for Akinjo.
Oh.
hip slam from Kendall Brown, who throws it down.
Man, Kendall made that look so easy. Like he just graced for the putback.
And Brown got a little poke there on T-set as he went by, pinned the ball to his hip, couldn't finish the layup. 7 of 9 from the line. Now 80% as a team. Lincoln Rose, King McClure with you. Great to have you with us. Final men's game of the year for Baylor. So they shift focus to the Big 12. Of course, the women will be in action tomorrow night. We thought it was going to be against a Southland Conference opponent in Houston Baptist. That date fell through. So instead, Nikki Collin was able to, at the last moment, get some folks from Conference USA to come on down from Denton. This will be the Mean Green against the Green and Gold. It'll be tomorrow night on ESPN Plus. And that's a nice look coming out of the break from Zelen Baba.
That was a tough shot right there. The footwork to step back and knock down the tray.
Jovan Zelen Baba out of Israel. And one of the international players from Northwestern State, Sohan. Didn't put enough English on it. We're going to stay here as Owens called for the foul against Jonathan Chamwa-Chachua. Sohan, a point shy, being the 4th Bear in double digits. Owens comes through with the swamp. And Zelen Baba, defended by Flagler. Knocked down a three-pointer his last effort. This one poked out of bounds into the Northwestern State bench. It'll stay here. Mike McConaughey, about as good as it gets within the state of Louisiana for decades. 39th year as a head coach. Previously he was at Osier Parish. Now 23rd year with the Demons. And pass right into the arms of Sohan.
Good pass.
Give and go, and a tough foul. Sohan comes down on his tailbone. No ill will on the foul, but thankfully Sohan able to pop back up.
Yeah, definitely wasn't an intentional. He definitely was trying to go for the ball.
Yep.
Just happened to ball bad. I'm glad he got up though, because that looked a little painful.
If he doesn't feel it now, probably tomorrow.
Right, you always feel those hard falls in the morning. I don't know why that is. I don't know why you just can't instantly feel the pain, but you gotta wait a day to feel the pain. Wake up in the morning, you just had some good sleep and you can't even walk. Oh.
And a double dribble.
Definitely something.
Marion McDonald with the turnover. And he was one of the players who stepped up while T-Set was out the first semester. McDonald's a 3-star recruit, arguably one of the better recruits Northwestern State's brought in over the past decade. They're excited about his future. True freshman.
Oh my goodness.
Jonathan Chamwa-Chachua has had no shortage of those moments in his career in Waco.
Just throw it up to the big fellas. Throw it up to Kendall Brown. It doesn't matter who. Anybody over 6'7" on this Baylor team, just throw it up and I promise they'll go get it.
Now, when Jonathan arrived, that was one of the few things you could do. Lob it to him above the rim, but he's continued to grow his game. Flagler finds Bonner in the corner. The pride of Shaker Heights, Ohio. Transfer from Division II Fairmont State. Able to play with the big boys on the #1 team in the nation. And that ball is retired for the rest of the night.
What are you thinking right there? I know he saw Jeremy Sohan and all 6'9" of him
When someone
Right
says
there.
their block was all ball, this is the standard.
Especially when you below 5'8".
And Brian White. And Owens able to recover it. Shot clock at 4. And a touch foul on Sohan on the perimeter there.
That's the right call right there. Jimmy Sohan put 2 hands on the defender. Should have just let him go by. Only 1 second on the shot clock. Not a smart foul.
So it's a 6-0 run. It's also a 14-3 run over the past 5.5 minutes for Baylor, growing this lead from halftime up to 40 now. Again, this will be a tough out in the Southland Conference for teams facing Northwestern State.
Yeah, they're going to be really good in that conference. I mean, when you look at the guys who they get to play against and all the guys who they have played against, I mean, they've gotten better. And this is a tough team for their league. And they should be very competitive and maybe win it.
We've seen schools like Nichols, Southeastern, New Orleans, all in the state of Louisiana in contention for that automatic bid to the NCAA tournament out of the Southland in recent years. Northwestern State likely in that mix as well this year. McDonald.
Ooh.
Confident finish from Amarion.
Tough floater right there. Good pass.
Sohan open long enough to nail that one, as Genty was late to close on him.
Good pass. And great closeout, honestly.
And Sohan defending on the other end. Amarion McDonald, we mentioned he's the understudy for Carvel T-Set.
Look, taking some plays out of T-Set's book right there. Pulling up from the logo.
Actually, we're high school teammates. McDonald transferred in to the 4-time state champions, but had to sit out that semester when T-Set was a senior. McDonald the next year led them to the high school state championship. Finishes a runner-up. Left-hander won't go. Akinjo, 21 points with the game high. Akinjo, 23 points with the game high.
Tough layup right there.
Flo Thamba and Kendall Brown about to check back into this ball game. All of 6'10 and 6'8 respectively. 10 to shoot. Owens, good vision. And a nice cut rewarded there is Ellen Baba.
That's just too easy right there. I know you're about 30, almost 40. You got to play better defense right there.
Bonner transition. Love that it brings those men together.
Actually on an Athletes in Action trip my sophomore year. We went to Poland. We went to Poland and Germany. I got to see, oh, I'm finna sound so stupid when I say this. Where did Hitler and all this stuff happen?
Were y'all ranked by any of the polls?
No. Auschwitz, there we go. I went to go see Auschwitz.
Bonner transition and a flush. Hey, you get to see parts of the world that you may not have otherwise gotten to see.
Yeah.
Pretty cool what basketball can provide you.
It's a super group, super cool organization. They do a lot for basketball players, like you said.
Look from the corner is good, and the birthday boy is getting closer to once again to being a demon on fire.
They take you to places you would have never thought you'd see. And it's a Christian organization, so shout out Athletes in Action.
He's at 6 3-pointers now, 5 in the first half. Lincoln Rose, King McClure with you tonight. Don Morris resting his voice for his 404th consecutive radio call for Baylor football when the Sugar Bowl takes place this next month.
400. Boy, Damo's a legend. He's been doing this thing a minute.
Yeah, he was a legend a few hundred games ago. Akinjo, determination, just won't get the ball over the rim. Free throws coming up for Thumb. Everything people have talked about, it has been, a lot of thought has been put into that venue. No shortage of great memories still to be made here.
You got to lob
at
it
the
up.
Farrell Center. Tomo Chanchwa trying to ring in the new year. And Bonner blocking it away. Akinjo. Akinjo just looks the defender off. .34 fast break points for Baylor. And there's the aforementioned Kendall Coleman, again, who spent time with L.J. Cryer and Zach Loveday. It's off season. Speaking of Mr. Loveday, about to come into the next stoppage and play. Damba.
Oh, very impressive right there. Baylor just taking care of business, picking up where they left off last year.
Zach Loveday comes on, the 7-foot sophomore. When he puts his arms out like that, I know it makes the airport over there at Lake Waco a little nervous. The other way with Jordan Turner. Fifth three-pointer for Flagler. He's got 19 points, second on the team behind Akinjo's 25. A foul will keep it here after the tee-set miss. With that miss, tee-set still 6 of 10 from beyond the arc tonight for Mike McConaughey's team. And they'll step into conference play in the new year. Members of the Southland since 1987. They have a couple of regular season titles, 3 tournament titles. Those are the more important ones because those are the ones that carry the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. Last going to the big dance in 2013. The last postseason, I believe, was 2015 in the CIT. Able to beat the 5 count. A long 2 is good for Coleman and the second-year freshman. Flagler from the elbow.
Good pace right there, coming off a ball screen. Split the screen, rise up with a jumper. Good pace from Adam Flagler.
Got the double-double, 21 points, 10 assists tonight for Flagler. Zohan in his first career start, a double-double, 13 points, 10 boards. And a demon sandwich. Baylor comes away with the basketball. Turner. Looking to make it a baker's dozen from downtown for Baylor tonight. Zohan just a step late and is able to get that ball off the glass to go. Kendall Coleman.
A baker's dozen. I have never heard that. What does that even mean? Where does that come from?
Find a donut shop. And if the baker likes you, they'll put an extra one in there.
Never heard that before. Got to use that one.
Yeah, remember, the number 13 with donuts is good. Number 13 with hotel floors, not so much. T-Set sends it inside, and things starting to click for Kendall Coleman.
The more I think about it, bro, I don't think any baker has ever liked me because I have never had an extra donut in my box.
I don't think any baker looks at you in your waistline and thinks, oh, this is a guy who's going to keep us in business. Baylor over the century mark tonight, and this will be a backcourt violation. Not touched by Baylor. James Akinjo tonight, 25 points, 9 assists, 5 rebounds. And for Baylor, they'll go 2 AIMs on ESPNU for New Year's Day. 3 days later, right here against Oklahoma on ESPN2. Northwestern State heads, we mentioned, west of Houston, January 6th, 7th, and 8th, where they'll look for more flushes from Zell and Bamba. Northwestern State doesn't return home to Natchitoches until January 27th against Incarnate Word. Their first 3 conference games that count. Four players in double figure scoring for the Bears. 2 men with double doubles and a couple more flirting with one.
Defense.
Lincoln Rose, King McClure, 3.5 minutes to go here in regulation. Akinjo leading all scorers with 27.
Oh.
To stay at 27 a little longer. We're going to turn right back around tomorrow. It'll be the 10th ranked women of Baylor hosting the Mean Green of North Texas.
Oh.
If he gets that ball over the rim, you think they blow the whistle?
Up by 40 right now? No. No.
Jordan Turner going to the line. Scott Drew has a mix of starters and reserves in the ball game right now. Inside 3 minutes to go, and I'd be bragging if I could do that.
If you could get hung on the rim.
Tired of getting rejected by the net. Scott Drew with a good chuckle. McDonald. That's a mismatch. Over the 7-footer. Amarian McDonald, who is shooting a modest nearly 40% from beyond the arc this year. And a rejection, courtesy of the left hand from Kendall Coleman. Baylor has not knocked down a shot in the last 2.5 minutes. That one off of Loveday into the Baylor bench.
Man, this game getting a little ugly right now. I would definitely take out my starters.
You assume that Akinjo not going to be in this ball game much longer.
I wonder if he knows he has 9 assists, needs 1 more. Somebody should tell him.
I think you're onto something. Maybe 5 more rebounds. And Akinjo pulled the trigger on this one. If I can whisper into his ear his box score. Little sidestep, looking for 30. Finds Turner. And the rebound sends McDonald the other way. Good passing. Northwestern State able to execute. Inside the final 2 minutes. And we're about to see some fan favorites come on for the #1 ranked Baylor Bears. Kajana Love and Mitchell Paul make their debut tonight on the evening. For Love, his 3rd game of the season, just 3 minutes so far. For Paul, his 5th game. And on his MBA in accounting, the walk-on. Not sure who's going to keep track of the stats now. To the corner. Thought about it. In and out. And here's Paul leading the offense due to popular demand. And Kajana Love still does not have a name on the back of his jersey.
Got to give my man a jersey, man. He could have just took his brother's jersey.
Brother Langston Love out of the Montford Academy. As McDonald with the stroke.
McDonald's had a sneaky good second half.
13 points for McDonald tonight against the #1 team in the nation. 3 rebounds, a couple of assists as well. That is second on the team behind his former high school teammate T-Set's 18 points, 5 assists. Yeah, the story of how Langston Love injured, unable to suit up for Baylor this year, but his brother transfers in from down the road at Division II St. Edwards to help provide depth for Baylor. Open look for 3. Just like in practice, knocks it down. That's Robert Hugaz, a sophomore out of Athens, Greece. His brother briefly played at Northwestern State before going pro back home in Greece. But Hugaz put in some good minutes against the Aggies the other night, gets in for the final moments here. Baylor's going to take this one, 104-68 over Northwestern State. Next up for both teams, some familiar foes.